Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today's is going to be part 4 in my ongoing series about my time in the Army, and today I'm going to be covering Airborne School. So that was an interesting couple of weeks there. So I wanted to talk about that. I kind of touched on it briefly in my last Army video. We're leading into where we're going to start today. This one might be a little bit shorter because, Airborne School is only 3 weeks. There's only so much I can tell you about that. A very exhilarating and exciting time in my life. But if you guys have been enjoying my videos, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the little notification bell up there so you'll know when I post videos. I try to post them fairly often. If you enjoy the video, definitely like it. Please let me know in the comments something you like about it, something you don't like about it. If you were airborne and you want to talk about your experience, I'd love to hear back from you. So in the end of my last Army video, I kind of led into Airborne School where, my paperwork had been messed up and I had been sitting around waiting for a week, and then my best friend and everybody else from my, duty station at Fort Lee there had shown up. So we were getting ready to start. So Airborne School is normally a 3-week process. You could be mixed in with Air Force, Marines, Navy, whatever. I mean, not just for the Army, but basically Fort Benning, Georgia, is where you do Airborne School. It's a very old school base, very at that time. I mean, I don't know what it's like now. This is back in 2000. I really enjoyed it. I loved the base. I mean, it was old school, old barracks, but it just had this charm about it. I kind of touched on that in my previous video, but I mean, I really enjoyed it down there. So anyway, week one, you start out and they put you in formation, what they call sticks. Like they put the tallest guys on one side. You kind of, if I remember correctly, you kind of line up short to tallest because that's when you get into the plane. That's pretty much how it's going to be. So I was a taller guy. I was always toward the back, so I was, at the end of one formation. But anyway, week one is just a lot of practicing, literally just falling off a little few foot platform, learning to do what they call a PLF, a parachute landing fall. So that when you get out of the plane and you hit the ground, you're not going to kill yourself. Basically, that you're gonna know how to react depending on which way the wind is going to blow you. The parachutes have what they call risers on them that can help you steer. Now we didn't have any fancy parachutes like the Special Forces guys did. We just had the basic ones. The things about the Army you have to keep in mind is that everything is kind of made by the lowest bidder. So, just something to keep in mind when you're going into the service. But anyway, I digress. So week one was just a lot of running because you run everywhere, training sun up to sundown, doing a lot of these different exercises, learning how to, fall. I remember they had a little mock wood airplane that, we would be in just to kind of, get the feel of it. Obviously, it's nothing like the real thing, but just kind of prepare you for that. Toward the end of week one, what you do is you do this like little 30-foot tower where you get a little harness on. They bring you up the stairs of this tower. They hook you into a cable. You jump out the side. It's supposed to simulate jumping out the side door of a plane. It really doesn't, in my opinion. I mean, I get where they're going with it. You get that sensation of jumping out the door into the unknown. But the angle that it's at is just not really very realistic. But anyway, you slide down this cable, you kind of get your feelers on. Anyway, week two is supposed to be what they call Tower Week. Now, what this thing does, now again, I'm terrified of heights, so this whole process to me is kind of ironic. But they open your chute, you're strapped in, they lift you up, I don't know, maybe 200-300 feet off the ground, and they just drop you so that you get that sensation of falling. Now, the thing is, that's not very high up. I know it sounds like it's high up, but in the realm of airborne operations, that's really not. So you kind of hit the ground quickly. The thing was, the week before us, some idiot didn't hit the ground quickly. He steered himself into the side of the chow hall, so he got really hurt. I'm sure there was some splatter on the side of the mess hall there. So they postponed our tower week and just kind of re-drilled us on the stuff that we were talking about the first week. It's kind of funny because it's like, how do you screw something up that quickly and that bad? You would think it's something I would do, but I swear to God, it wasn't me. So anyway, I just thought it was kind of funny that they postponed it. But I was glad, in all honesty, because again, I didn't like heights. I've never liked heights. I talked about in my basic training video how the drill sergeant kind of gently nudged me off the platform to rappel down, and I, almost crapped myself. I just did not like that sensation of that, like, straight down falling. Anyway, so, we get to the Sunday right before our third week, which is jump school. And I just remember being in the barracks, and again, I was older than everybody. I was probably the oldest one there. And I was shitting a brick. I was scared, shitless, no macho bullshit. I was scared to death. And I was sitting in my bunk, like, shaking. And everybody in the barracks is hooting and hollering, all, I don't know, 100 guys, however many of us were in there. And everybody's talking about they're a badass and da da da. Oh, look at Grandpa over there. He's shitting himself. He's scared, da da da. My best buddy was there with me. He was sympathetic to my cause, but everybody else was kind of like, oh, we're badass. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. So I was like, I need a breather. I don't want to deal with this crap right now. So I walked outside. They had payphones out there. I put in a phone call to a girl that I knew from my original AIT training at the Air Force Base. We were good friends for a good many years there. She was kind of very cat and mouse with me. I talked about her in the previous video. I was just wanting to hear a friendly voice to kind of calm my nerves a little bit. And, she was kind of jokefully joking and being playful about it, told me stop being a big baby, you're going to be fine, whatnot. So it kind of calmed me down a little bit. Talked to her for, 15, 20 minutes before she had to go. Went back inside. I laid down in my bunk. Got a good night's sleep. I tried to put it out of my head because I knew Monday morning, bright and early, what I was going to be doing. Okay, so I wake up Monday morning. It's now day 1 of jump week. All right. So this is the first time you're really getting all your equipment fully on where it's for real. They get us up early. You see, the airborne operations, it's not like you get up, go there, jump, you're in the plane, bang, you're done. It's an all-day affair. I mean, you have to rig up your equipment, test your equipment, practice, double check, triple check, quadruple check, everything. They want to make it as safe as humanly possible. So it's not like a fast process. It's an all-day thing. Anyway, I just thought it was funny, it was ironic, and it was the biggest dose of karma that I've had in a long time. We get into the hangar, and there's hundreds of us in there. I mean, hundreds. Not just my company, but like all these other companies. And you could hear a pin drop. It was silent. Everybody was white as a ghost, scared to death. Except for one guy who had the biggest shit-eating grin on his face. I'll give you a guess who that guy was. Yeah, me. So I was just looking around and talking to everybody, and I was like, I thought everybody was so badass. I thought everybody had so much to say. And who got a good night's sleep? Grandpa over here. Who's feeling cool, calm, and collected? Grandpa over here. Now, granted, I was scared. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay, here's the thing about airborne operations. They say if you're not even a little bit scared, that there is something wrong with you. It's 50% exhilaration and your heart's pounding out of your chest, and it's 50% unbridled fear. Okay, that's just the way it is, because it could go one way or the other. So, anyway, finally, after a couple hours of, going through all our stuff, they load us up in the plane, and it was pitch black. By the time we got to actually jump, it was daylight, though. They loaded... I'm sorry for that noise, guys. The computer keeps doing that crap on a daily basis. I've talked about this in previous videos. I don't know what it does. Anyway, let's just ignore it. So, we're loading in this plane, and it's a C-17 Globemaster. Now, for some of you familiar with the airborne, they use C-130s, where the old ones, like the World War II era and on, where there were 64. This had 100, roughly 100, maybe 102, whatever it was. There was like 100 something of us, And I'm all the way in the back because I'm one of the taller guys, And we're sitting there, and, we go through our things. And it's like that first time you feel the rush of wind when they open the door. They open the doors on the side of the planes. The way it works is like one guy will go out one side, guy goes out the other side, and you alternate, but it's so fast a thing, an airborne operation is like a huge undertaking. There are like hundreds and hundreds of soldiers and equipment and all this stuff going on at once. It's a madhouse, But it's a thing of beauty to watch it when it's done right. Because, it's just a perfectly oiled machine. Anyway, I'm in line. I'm feeling that cold air on my face. I hear the noise of the engine. I'm scared. I can feel my heart beating out of my chest. I say my prayers, not that they're really going to help because I'm not the most religious guy in the world. And it starts. And I see the guys start going out side to side, and I'm slowly creeping up to the door. And I swear to God, when I got to the door, time slowed down, and there was this white flash, and out the door I went. And it was the closest I'll ever get to heaven, and one of the most beautiful things in the world when I looked up and I saw that open parachute. And it's amazing how you go from all this noise inside the airplane to complete, like, dead silence. Beautiful day. Beautiful day. No wind. Sun is out. It was like 60, 70 degrees, which is, odd for Georgia. It's usually hot as hell. Um, Doing all the things I'm trained to do. They train you not to look down, but I kind of did. I mean, it's the first time I'm doing something like that. You have to take it in. I mean, once you get close to the ground, you look forward. Never look down, because they say it causes you to kind of anticipate, and you might move the wrong way, hurt yourself. So as soon as I got closer to the ground, I didn't look down. But anyway, just an amazing experience, guys. Like, words, and I'm a pretty expressive guy. Words can never describe how that felt. My first ever jump. It was called what's a Hollywood jump. What a Hollywood jump is just your parachute, not all your equipment. Now, later on in my Army life, I would have given anything to do a Hollywood jump. I mean, I was doing them at night. I was doing them with, equipment that weighed more than I did. I mean, it was crazy. But anyway, I loved it. I mean, when I finally got to the ground, this was my very first time. I kind of felt like I landed on a cloud. Like, it did not hurt one bit. And what you're supposed to do as soon as you land is you kind of get your bearings, you get out of your chute, you wrap it up, you move on. But I kind of laid there for a second just to take it all in. It was so, oh God, I can't even describe it. It was just so amazing, guys. It was, like I said, the most exhilarating thing I'll ever do, and probably the closest I'll ever get to heaven. Anyway, you have to do 5 jumps to get out of airborne school, so I did my 4 more that week. Thank God, only one guy got hurt. Was a classmate of ours. I didn't know him that well, but he was a friend. He got injured. Thankfully, he was okay in the long run. Another guy I was friends with, he got hurt a little bit further than that, but he was okay. He just wasn't the most lucky guy in the world. Something happened on his way out. His face dragged along the side of the plane and broke his nose, and then the what they call a static line is in the plane that you hook up your parachute to. Now, the parachute has this little cord on it that when you go out the door, it opens by itself. That wrapped around his leg and snapped his leg. So yeah, he was okay in the end. And a couple months later, he was fine. He got honorable discharge. He went home. But anyway, so we do my 4 other jumps that week, and before you know it, I got airborne wings pinged on my chest. And that was one of the proudest moments of my life. Something I never thought I'd do because I'm terrified of heights. It cracks my father up to this day. I can't go on a 40-foot ladder without shaking. He's like, you used to jump out of airplanes. And I was like, you jump out of an airplane, you've got a parachute or even a reserve, which thank God I never had to use. You come down slow. You fall off that ladder, you're going to bust your ass, So he never understood the difference there. But it's something I never in a million years thought I'd do. I'm glad I did it because for once in my life I confronted a fear, and I overcame it, and I was better for it. I just remember when we finally finished airborne school, I had been going. I had basic training, and then I had my first job training, and then that didn't work out. I moved on to my second job training. I was tired, physically tired. But my best friend and I, were walking out of the barracks, and you have basically 2 choices at that point. You can do hometown recruiting, where they send you home for roughly a month. You do 2 weeks of literally go out with the recruiter and talk to people about your time in the Army and what it's like, and you try to encourage them to sign up. Or from that point, you can go on to Ranger School. And we kind of stood there, and we looked at each other, and we just didn't say anything. We just stood there for a minute, and we were watching, everybody kind of filter out. I don't think I would have done well he's convinced I would have done it. I don't think I would have made it. I don't think I had what it takes to be that badass. You never know. I mean, who knows? There's no way I'll ever know. But I was tired. I was physically kind of beaten and battered after basic training and airborne school and everything. I was like, if you want to go, dude. He's like, no, either we both go or none of us go. Which I kind of felt bad because I think he could have done this. This guy could have done anything. He still can do anything. He sets his mind to. He's an incredible guy. He's my brother from another mother. I love this guy. But anyway, I think we were both kind of tired and ready for a break, so we chose the hometown recruiting. We went home for a month, whatever it was. I went back to Houston to see my dad. He went back to Pennsylvania. And then it was off to our final duty station, Fort Bragg, North Carolina, which is going to be the topic of my next video. And also talking about September 11th, because we were both there during September 11th. It's funny because all that big group of guys that we went into Airborne School with, everybody ended up on Fort Bragg. Even the guys that didn't go to Airborne School, there was 2 other guys that were with us back on Fort Lee that didn't go to Airborne School. We still all ended up together on Fort Bragg, so that was kind of cool. Like I said, I mean, it's hard to describe, but it's something I never thought I'd do. I was proud of it. I was proud of my time in the Army. Again, I've said this a million times. I was not the smartest soldier, the best soldier, the fastest, the strongest, but I was a soldier. I did it. I did it pretty good. I did the best I could, and it had a profound impact on my life. So, wanted to tell you guys about that. So, I still got 2 more videos I'm going to talk about with my Army time. The next one is going to be about my final duty station and about, September 11th. And then the final video in the series is going to talk about my, the years after the Army, what I've taken home with me, the struggles I've had since I got out of the Army, because it's challenging, guys. When you get yourself up to a certain plateau and then you lose it, especially at a young age, it's something that that I've struggled with. But anyway, we will talk about that in the next video. So guys, tomorrow is Veterans Day. I want to give a big shout out to all my fellow veterans out there all over the country, especially the friends and brothers and sisters in arms that I served with. I love you guys. You made my time in the Army so much better. You've enriched my life. Thank you for so many of you just still being a part of my life, 20 years later. It's a brotherhood and a sisterhood, and, it is really people, when you meet them, they just become family to you. I know it sounds cliche, but it's true, I've known so many other friends in my life that have been veterans. I want to give them all a salute. Guys, I love you all. I respect you all. Some of them didn't have a choice. Some of them were not volunteers. Some of them went to Vietnam and didn't pick that. So nothing but respect for you guys. Other good friends I had that served in the Army, the Air Force, the Marines, all of you guys. Whoever puts on that uniform, you got my respect. So I'm going to end it here, guys. It's getting late. My throat's getting a little scratchy, but I wanted to say thank you for joining me for another video. If you are enjoying my channel, please, by all means, subscribe to it. Hit the little notification bell so you know when I post a new video. If you enjoyed this video, like it. Definitely, leave some comments. Sorry. This change in weather has been really bad for me here. I've got terrible allergies. But anyway, leave some comments down there. Tell me something you like about the video, something you didn't like. Tell me if you've got any airborne experience, if you got any questions about it. I'd be happy to try to answer. And we will see you guys in the next video. Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there.